In this vision space presentation, we start to explore the remit for adopting an experiential approach to the nature of reality. This is not new, of course. What is new is that we have the basis for technologies that could make this a tangible, robust, and realistic proposition for active multidisciplinary research and development. Our visual encounters with the real world are entirely non-photographically rendered. They do not conform to either the projection of optics or the geometry of perspective. Vision occurs to us and not our photographic instrumentation. The same can be said of audition and its non-relation to sound recordings. Both vision and audition are prior to science, and both key scientists and philosophers understand this. What's required now is a technology into which multiple disciplines can contribute and make tangible or render visible this level of insight. By direct mark-making, artists open up certain aspects of visual perception, recording how as well as what we see. One mark may correspond to one projection of conscious vision, then previously suppressed information may be responsible for the next. If one learns to organize these presentations, understand their characteristics, how the mind tends to use them, together with the intent that drives them, then intuitive marks can access the experiential. In other vision space presentations, we have looked at the duality underpinning the structure of monocular vision and the structure and dynamic of information exchange taking place within phenomenal field. It's the duality of information sets that triggers fundamental consideration. For us to present and control the setting out of a field potential, providing us with proximity cues even on a monocular basis, then we have to be taking something else from the incoming light array, beyond the probabilistic arrival of photons over time that we understand as the classical fundamentals behind optical projection. The suggestion is that decoherence is taking place at the retina, and that both a photon-particle dataset, together with a coherence through noise potential across the retina, are being established. These two potentials are then processed in entirely different ways through the visual system, leading eventually to different takes on the real setting being observed. These explicit and implicit what-where characterizations then need to be integrated or mediated by mind. This is of course a theoretical proposition, but it's suggested by the intuitive records of literally hundreds of visual artists working within the experiential realm, illustrated in vision space moving image media, and I believe there is, if you read between the lines, strong circumstantial evidence from multiple scientific disciplines. These connections are studied in some depth in PAC papers available through the website. It is clear that we attempt to eliminate noise. Is this because our instrumentation can't deal with the information potential it contains? It's equally clear that our current forms of optical instrumentation are neither formulated to respond, function, or perform in any way commensurate with the visual system. It should therefore be of no surprise that optical projection should only be superficially connected to the phenomenon of vision. When we encounter a real setting, we engage with it via processes that are entirely alien to a camera. Vision space is a new form of illusionary space. Could this be a Renaissance moment? What if we miss this opportunity? If we are all spending more and more of our time in artificially constructed virtual environments, as opposed to perceptually structured experiential environments, what is the cost going to be? Are we making significant aspects of our neurological makeup redundant? Are we adapting ourselves to live in a virtual space as opposed to the universe into which we are integrated? Are we losing touch with reality? Or is reality now just explicit? The Vision Space project presents an opportunity to render visible perceptual structure, and for that to establish what's actually involved in an act of observation. It aims to model visual awareness. For this to happen and realize its potential, tacit support for a change of ontology is required, one where the visual artist and their discipline are taken seriously again. Visual artists need to re-evaluate the pertinence of conceptual art and the illustration of ideas. We need to move our technologies forward together. The experiential ontology is not a passing fad. It's the real deal. All knowledge has its origins in perception.